absolute unremittent fury from people saying that this is the end of the line for them. They've tolerated enough, and this is just a step too far. But, you know, I'm going to get into the previous cases when I get up and host the show in a little while. Numerous cases where people have done exactly this, mishandled classified information, not even deliberately. Remember, that's not the standard that she's being held to, not deliberately. And yet we have Comey coming out with this quote. Again, quote, "To be clear, this is not to suggest that in similar circumstances, a person who engaged in this activity would face no consequences. To the contrary, those individuals are often subject to security or administrative sanctions." So again, they're subject to misdemeanor charges, fines, imprisonment.
He warns him. He said, listen, just because she's not getting in trouble doesn't mean you won't. They're even telling the government she's above the law, and that they aren't. That's crazy, man.
It's completely out of control. I mean, even a lot of people on the left, from what I've seen, are just absolutely flabbergasted by this. The one crumb of comfort, I guess, for Trump, which some people have pointed out, is that, you know, 2016 is the year of complete rebellion against the status quo. This is not only going to fire up his base, but it's also going to enrage those independents who are leaning Republican to vote for Trump. It's going to influence the Bernie Sanders supporters, 50% of whom said they wouldn't vote for Hillary.
Well, here's the good news. Trump doesn't even know what an email server is. That's kind of a good thing. He, like, his emails handed to him, printed off. He knows how to use a Twitter. But don't worry, he won't have any secret servers because he's not a big tech guy. I tell you, Hillary is a true slime ball. I want to take a call or two and then hand the baton to you, Paul. But I think this just signifies the battle lines. They're going into overdrive. They have nothing to lose. They're cornered. Humanity's waking up. This is just an epic time to be alive. But what do you think Hillary's going to do if she actually gets in? My bigger concern isn't that she'll just persecute us. We know that's coming. That's already happened. I've already been under Bill and Hillary before and enjoyed it, let me tell you. It's always fun to get knocked upside the head by a bunch of thugs attacking you, saying, don't talk about the Clintons as they punch you. But I punched back. That's what they found out. So I guess they didn't come back. As they thought. But side issue, Paul, what do you think she's going to do when she gets in? I think she might start World War III because this instinct to dominate and rule everyone, this megalomania in her is so strong. I mean, the dark side is strong in this one.
No, I mean, that is the fear that she could amp up this Cold War situation with Russia. We've got
By the way,
China.
the Russians say that. They say she may be the worst president ever. They absolutely, in their analysis, think Hillary is like the frickin' Antichrist.
Oh, no, I mean, Putin said words to that effect a couple of weeks ago. And, you know, he said he could probably get along with Trump, but Hillary is just a frightening prospect. You've got the South China Sea situation with, you know, China saying that it's not afraid of a military confrontation once again. So she could exploit that. The country's going to be massively divided if she gets in. She could rally everyone around by using the old excuse of war.
How are the Chinese going to act when she's on their payroll, on record? And because Kenneth Starr was on the payroll of the same group, he never went after her for that, special prosecutor. How are they going to act knowing that she's been basically a communist Chinese agent for 20 years?
Well, she's going to get protected by the media, so it's not even going to be a big issue. I mean, you've got the media flapping their gums about Trump tweeting a star in a Hillary Clinton meme.
By the way, that's one of the 4 or 5 stars they use when they say, like, discount on a box, a cereal box.
Exactly. And so, well, it was seen on a white supremacist website. Well, you know, my videos are posted on white supremacist websites, but white supremacists and neo-Nazis are the prominent people who attack me. Just
the
because
point is that symbol, the way they did it orange like that or whatever, is the symbol that the police use, everybody else uses. It just means, look here.
Yeah, totally innocent. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia, the country that executes gay people and throws them in prison, is funding 20% of Hillary Clinton's campaign. Nobody gives a damn about that. That's not offensive. What's offensive is a red star in a meme about Hillary Clinton. My God, I'm so offended.
Well, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And they're going to try these stunts over and over and over and over and over again. And, you know, the left gets mad at us putting out this Ben Garrison deal. He exposed Bush, by the way, with I'm with her, the Grim Reaper with Hillary showing Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya. And they say, oh, you didn't care about Bush. Yes, we did. And we were against those wars. But even mainline historians say Hillary's far worse and Obama launching a whole bunch of new wars. And they're financing anti-Christian groups that are killing hundreds of thousands of Christians. I mean, Bush didn't do that. Bush protected Christians in Iraq, as bad as he is. It's like, why do you think she's out to get Christians like this? I just can't figure it out.
Well, I mean, it's the policy of the administration. The Syrian refugees they've brought in, it's literally, 99.5% Muslim, even though Syria, if you were doing it on that basis, around 10% would be Christian, just on a neutral basis.
I thought it was about 20. I guess half left.
Yeah, it's closer to 20. So you've got the guy involved in the Istanbul bombing being a refugee protected by the EU. Now the US is importing these people, and they seem to be deliberately importing Muslims over Christians while refusing to even mention the term Islamic terrorism. So,
well, by the way, I mean, if I see some guy in one of these Santa Claus outfits refusing a blind person a ride because they got a seeing eye dog, I'm going to get mad. At a certain point, once we get enough Muslims in the country, they start blowing stuff up to make us submit to them. But again, the leftists hate America so much, they love it, man. God almighty. These spoiled brats, Paul. Well, you shot a video about America, greatest country in history. It has been the greatest country in history. Doesn't mean we're not mad at a bunch of stuff that's going on, but we don't just have it out for the country.
No,
and all these people that hate it, man, get your asses out. Get the hell out. I'm sorry. I mean, I think one more slack-jawed, white, yuppie 25-year-old with $1,000, fancy iPhone, pulling up in a fancy car their parents gave them in a Mercedes, wearing a Bernie Sanders shirt. I mean, I just cannot handle it, man. You know how many people I see driving around in fancy cars with Bernie Sanders stickers, Paul? I mean, I have had it with it. Communist countries and socialist countries can't even manufacture cars, dumbass. Look at Cuba, dumbass. They can't make a car, you stupid idiots. Look at North Korea. Sorry, Paul, go ahead.
Look at Venezuela. They have to have signs on the truck saying there's no food in it so it doesn't get looted. I mean, fantastic, again, benefits of socialism. But the left is aligned with Islamists because, as you said, they both hate America. This is not just a cliche, it's true. This is why ISIS in its own manifestos say that we're going to go out and hire leftists, radicalize them, and give them weapons because we broadly share the same goal. And that goal is to tear down the existing structure. Whether it's good or bad, it's to tear down the status quo. That means your constitutional rights in the process.
And I got news for you. The only structure that works is free market, dummies. We lose this, the carrying capacity falls. We're going to have billions that starve to death, you morons.
That's what they want to remove. It goes back to the Frankfurt School, which of course created political correctness. It goes back to Marxism. It goes back to this idea of critical theory and Saul Alinsky, where they just want to tear down absolutely everything in this kind of nihilist purge. And socialists want to do that, so do Islamists. That's why they feed off of each other. That's why socialists and liberals defend Islamists, because, again, they broadly share the same goals. And now ISIS has actually recognized this and is going out and trying to hire these people.
Wow, I mean, I knew that was... Well, there's the headline. ISIS admits alliance with the left. Wow. Is there a story on this? This is sensational.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote the story months ago, and this is all...
Let's put it out again. People need to know this, because I'm telling you, man, here's the deal. Disliking problems in America and crony capitalism is good and should be done. But I'm telling you, socialists and globalists are going to deliver us into hell. They are not the answer to reforming the West even more. We want to get better, not go back to this.
No, exactly. And the other issue with this election coming up, again, they could get some radical leftists. We've already seen people jumping up on the stage trying to attack Trump. We've seen an assassination attempt against Trump just a few weeks ago. Got barely any media attention whatsoever. This guy tries to grab an officer's gun, go up and shoot Trump in the head. The story was buried within 48 hours. If someone did that at a Hillary event, it would be in the news for 3 weeks. Dangerous right-wing radical Republicans trying to kill Hillary Clinton. Trump has had numerous assassination attempts. That's why he wears a bulletproof vest at every public event. That's why he doesn't button his suit top up. And again, the media doesn't talk about it. The other issue that's bubbling under the surface, which I'm going to write an article about, is Facebook. There's now speculation from experts that Facebook is going to manipulate their feed, their algorithm, on the day of the election to encourage certain people within Democratic districts to go out and vote. Because, of course, there are, if there's a low turnout, they need to encourage that. they're now powerful enough, and we've covered the stories before. Facebook has done tests, studies, experiments on the general public to manipulate their emotions. Facebook is now more powerful than a lot of countries, even in the Western world.
And Zuckerberg is the dictator of it.
And they're talking about using that algorithm to manipulate people on the day of the presidential election to go out and vote for Hillary Clinton. This is not me saying it. This is a top author, an expert. So we're going to have that story coming up as well.
I want to go to two calls that have been holding super long and hand the baton to you, Paul Watson. All I can say is, folks, you want to be part of history. Spread the video and audio links today. Spread the link to Infowars.com/show. Support our local stations. Thank them for carrying the show. It's your support that ends up getting us moved from the weekend to weeknights to live. Most stations end up moving us to live because they get the support, the ratings, and things they need. We're winning in the info war. The globalists want to overthrow that because they can't beat us fair and square. So don't take the show for granted. I tell myself that every night when I go to bed and every day when I get up. Work hard today. Be as absolutely hardcore as you can. Bust your ass, Jones. Don't play games. This is history. You're betting your life, your treasure, your sacred honor on this. You better kick butt. Okay, I mean, I am in my face every day like a drill sergeant. And all I'm asking you is to realize this is history happening right now. This isn't a game. And we will beat these people as our ancestors have beaten parasites and collectivists before. But it's going to be rough. And if we don't fight hard, folks, it's going to get really bad before it gets better. Because they'll always destroy themselves in the end. But my God, with the weapons we've got and things like that now, we do not want to go down this road. This is historic. This is dangerous. But we're winning major battles. We're starting to win the war. Look at the British situation and the Brexit. All I'm saying is spread the word about the broadcast today. Send those links out. The power of you, the activists of this transmission. You're the reason it's spreading so fast already. And the great team we've got. It works together like a horse and carriage. But you are 99% of the power. We're just the detonator. You are the explosive. InfoWars is the detonator. You are the explosive. And then you're also the detonator to detonate the explosive in your area. So you're the explosive and the detonator. You are everything. And we need you to detonate information warfare weapons of truth in your area. People are ready to hear the truth. We need you to detonate. If you're an engineer and have the skills and there's no local affiliate, micro FM, AM, UHF, VHF, don't play games. Whatever you got to do, folks. This isn't, we're not playing around. We got to get hardcore. I launched a movement of micro FMs back in the mid-90s that I know got thousands of stations put up. So we're ready. We're ready to fight the info war because that's affecting the future battle space. That's almost all of war today. The Pentagon says is informational. The average person at the Pentagon is awake rooting for us, but commanded by enemy globalists. Literally. This is historic, what's happening. You are the resistance. That isn't some rhetoric, you know, like, oh, I'm the resistance, you know. You're beginning to see this is real. When I say from deep behind enemy lines and occupied North America, I'm not playing around. Lana in North Carolina, thanks for holding her on the air with Paul Watson and myself. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, it's such a privilege to talk to you. And I love all of your journalists. And I forward all of your articles on Instagram. And I tell people about Tragedy and Hope 101. But what I wanted to ask you, you and your journalists were touching on it a minute ago. It's so stupid for the globalists to tear us down, and I know they're really smart. But what I don't understand is why are they doing that? Because once they do that, they're not going to have anybody to buy all of their luxury items, like their BMW.
Sure. That's only one division of what they've done. It's a great point. In fact, this is the key to everything, what you've just asked. They have bad will towards you. Elites don't like, even if they're worth $100 billion, they don't like you with a nice swimming pool, going on nice vacations. They go to the Grand Canyon and see you there. They write books about it and complain. Why are there all these proletariats out here? You know, they've got too high a standard of living. That's why Obama says you can't have an air conditioning or a car. They don't want nice things for themselves. They want to restrict things to you. They want control. They're control freaks. And so they're trying to get all of the, and there's an extremism to commercialism and stuff. They use that to control people. They hit it from both angles. They're destroying it while they build it, but they're trying to basically phase all that out now and have a post-industrial world. Paul, can you speak to that paradox?
Yeah, well, I mean, you saw it with the Brexit result. You know, the people in London, the middle classes who want to be elitists, they all rally around the elitists. The elitists have their low-income servants that drag everybody else's wages down, and it's to hell with the rest of the country. You know, the vast majority of people who voted for